We are back and better than ever once again. We had to take that quick commercial break to get Mark calmed down a little bit. He was jumping up and down here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Playoff time.
Oh yeah. Moving on to the playoffs, like he was saying in softball, we already broke down the baseball for you. We're going to move into the softball. Abbeville is going to be at home, but we're not sure who they're going to play yet. But that's going to be a home game on Thursday. Saluda is going to play at Andrew Jackson. What are you looking for out of the Tigers?
I think the Tigers are going to win. Like you said, they got good pitching. So I think the pitching's going to win that game for them. They'll carry on over. And I'm not sure how far they'll go, but they'll win the first one.
Yeah, Saluda had a tough loss at Batesburg last region game of the season. That pushed them out of that, getting a home game in the playoffs. So I'm not sure how they're going to come back and respond off of that. But it's going to be interesting to see if they are able to beat Andrew Jackson and move on in the playoffs this year. 96 softball, I'm pretty sure they're going to get a home game, but I'm not sure about that either. They are going to be in the playoffs starting on Thursday, and it's possible that they could get a home game. I think that's the last one. Where Shoals? I forgot about the Hornets. The Hornets, they're going to be on the road facing somebody on Thursday. What are you seeing out of the Hornets to close out the season? I think they had we forgot to mention, they had a win against Tomasi Salem last night.
They did have a big win against Tomasi Salem. I think that'll carry them over to their first game in playoffs with a lot of confidence. And if they can put together the same game like they did against Tomasi Salem, I think they'll be fine.
I think Lydia Baston, one of their starting pitchers, she's going to be the main key in the playoffs. Make sure that her arm's ripping and ready to go for the playoffs starting in this first round. Well, moving on, we're going to break down the playoffs a little bit more on Wednesday, maybe have some brackets behind us, and kind of give you a bracketology show, breaking them down and kind of showing you what we think is going to happen in the playoffs. I'm definitely going to get that crown back. We didn't give it out to anybody this week because both of us suck. Nobody got any picks right.
A lot of upsets, that's why.
Yeah, you got to blame it on something, Mark.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, when you go 13-0 and then only get about 2 right.
2?
You got to.
I had to get more than that.
You got to blame it on somebody.
Well, there's only probably just 2 games.
Yeah. It's probably like a solar eclipse or something. Anyway, moving on, we had some NBA playoffs last night, some NBA playoff action. There was some great action this past weekend on Sunday. I think all the games were close. We had the Bulls. They took out the Celtics in a double overtime thriller. We also had the Orlando Magic beat the Philadelphia 76ers on the road by 3 points. Big Hito Turkoglu shot, 3-point shot in the end. And we also had the Rockets taking out the Trailblazers. It was also a 3-point game, a 3-point loss for the Blazers. And last night we had the Lakers. They finally eliminated the Jazz. It was a 4-1 series. And we also had the Nuggets. Man, they put a whooping on.
Yeah.
They put a whooping on the Hornets, a 58-point whooping, and that was pretty bad. Mark, have you been keeping up with the playoffs?
I was just checking it on SportsCenter in the mornings. Don't really have that much time to watch full games at night, but I don't know who I'm pulling for. I was pulling for the Celtics, but with KG out, wasn't much they could do.
Yeah, it's a big game tonight in that series. It's going to be on tonight at 7 o'clock. It's going to be in the Garden, Boston Garden. Bulls and Celtics, you might want to check that out. It's going to be a big game in that series. Probably whoever wins that game is going to win the series. Moving on to the NFL draft, it was this past Saturday and Sunday. We had 7 Gamecocks that were drafted, Mark, and that's always special. We also had a couple of big-name Clemson Tigers get drafted. Darrell Scott, I think he's a defensive tackle, was drafted first. And then we had Thomas Davis, the running back.
James Davis?
James Davis. I knew it was Thomas Davis James somewhere in there. But anyway, he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. That was in the 5th round, I believe. And also we had Matthew Stafford. He was the first pick. Can't go without saying that. Yep. Mark Sanchez was the 5th pick. Jets moved up to that spot to take him. And Mark, I think a South Carolina Gamecock, was the 290th pick.
Yeah, last man, Ryan Suckup, the kicker. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
He got in.
Yeah, a kicker.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the Kansas City Chiefs take a kicker, Ryan Suckup. Hope he makes the team for him. Hope he has some big kicks for him.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, moving on. Ryan Suckup, Mr. Irrelevant. Moving on to that Spikes golf tournament. Carolina Spikes was on Saturday. Mark, you want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah, we had a lot of teams promised they were going to play. About half of them showed up, but the parents were there and everybody contributed very well, except I was disappointed with Hunters Creek itself. Went out there a few times before it got started, before the tournament started during the week, just to make sure everything was going like planned, and We'd ask golfers who were members out there if they were going to be in it, and they claim they have not even heard of it. So pretty disappointed on Hunters Creek's side of helping us out for our golf tournament, but as far as our side, we did everything we could to raise money for the kids, and even I had a chance to play.
What'd you shoot?
I can't tell you.
Alright.
I'm terrible. But they did, it was captain's choice, and they did take one of my putts. So that's not too bad.
One of your putts out of, what, 18 holes? That is pretty bad, but we're going to keep that on the DL. Hunters Creek, you got to come a little bit stronger, like Mark was saying. We need your help. Anyway, moving on, Shell Doula's dinner, appreciation dinner, was also on Saturday. That's what I was at. And it was a great event. Shell Doula, one of the best coaches in South Carolina, was honored. He was also given the Order of the Palmetto Award, one of the highest civilian awards ever given in our state. It's given by the governor of South Carolina, and you received that. If you want to find out more about that story, go on to our website, Greenwood Today Sports, and it'll be under the title, Honoring a Coaching Legend. We also got Carolina Spike's church softball tournament.
Yeah, we doing everything we can for these kids because travel ball cost, and it's going to be all summer long them traveling and playing, and we got upwards of 12 teams this summer, and it costs for them to go play tournaments, entry fees, insurance, and all. So this Saturday we're putting on a church softball tournament at Tranquil Church and at First Assembly Church in Greenwood. And we're combining efforts with the Sydney Sluggers, which is a 12 and under travel team. Carolina Spike Select and the Sydney Sluggers are getting together, two of the more elite teams in the Greenwood, and hopefully churches will come out, sign up, and call me or Troy Cole and sign up and play for the kids, I guess.
Well, that sounds like a great time. It sounds like you're going to have a great time out there. Also, we have a new thing on our site. It's called the Greenwood Today Sports event, and this is where fans can come on and leave some questions for us to read on the show, leave a comment, vent some frustrations about some of the programs out there. The first one, we got the first hit on the event, and I got to read it on the air. I promised the fan I would read it on the air. It's from an anonymous tip, and I think it's on one of your Davis Report questions.
Davis Report's questions, yeah. There's 5 questions on there about 5 local baseball teams and just kind of my opinion on what's going on. So let's hear what they got to say.
Well, this fan wants to talk about those Emerald Vikings, and his comment is, hitting in the batting cages and off tee is good, but facing real pitching, especially pitchers that can throw off-speed stuff, is Emerald Vikings' problem. In Emerald's case, all the young players have not seen much off-speed pitches, and they are lost and confused at the plate. Emerald would have had a lot more wins in 2009 if they could have hit the off-speed stuff. Hopefully, Emerald coaches will focus more on this, because next year, with a young pitching staff, they will probably need a lot of offense to secure wins. And that's from an anonymous tip from an Emerald Viking fan, I'm assuming. Mark, you got any response to that?
I agree. I mean, you need to get outside. I know that you only got so much time at night that you're allotted to practice with 3 teams on one field, and it's hard to do, but they got to get together and come up with some kind of rotation where all of them get live on the field, because nothing's better than seeing live pitching and game experience for practice.
And like I said, the new feature on our site, the sports event, you want to get your question or comment or anything, really, any opinion you got on sports read on our, one of our weekly shows here. Go ahead and send that in. We're going to take the best question. Make sure to leave your name and your email address so we'll know who you are. Also, we got our GTS poll question of the week, and the question is, which high school in our area has the best football rivalry? It's real simple. Go on the site and make your choice. Mark, you got an opinion on that?
Personally, I like the Greenwood versus Abbeville rivalry. 2 big football traditions there, a 2A and a 4A, and I like to see them get together and play.
Yeah, the only thing is they play in a jamboree. They don't even play during the regular season.
Well, half a game's better than nothing.
Well, that's not one of our choices, but Mark made his opinion felt, and he made it felt on the air, nonetheless. So, like I was saying, bracket show on Wednesday. Make sure you tune into that. We're going to break down these brackets. Make sure you know who's the real king of the sports predictions, me. And anyway, we're going to close the show right now. This is my house, but you're welcome anytime. This is the GTS Monday Fever, Swine Flu, Pig Madness Show. We're doing it on a Tuesday, making it happen, making it big. This is Jonathan Graves. I'm the Greenwood Today sports reporter, and I am out.
Let's get that rivalry on here.